Hey everybody, weekly update time. I am back from my mini travels. You may have seen me last week in Chicago on the weekly update. Before then, I was in Hollywood, and I was actually in Hollywood this week again too. Nothing big to report, just there's lots of meetings that go on before you get to report big things. And I've never been able to report big things, and I've been doing these meetings for 20 years. So don't hold your breath. But I will say this, the meetings I have now that don't go anywhere are with much more important people than the meetings I had before that didn't go anywhere. So that's fun. I get to meet lots of cool people. It's just very hard to get a giant epic fantasy film or television show off the ground. They're very expensive, and so lots of moving pieces there. And then before that, I had a writing retreat, which brings us to Stormlight 5. Wind in Truth is at, bing, 47%. So I made good progress despite all of these trips and things, but I am officially behind now. I needed to be at 50% as of now, a little over 50. So theoretically, I'll need another writing retreat, probably right at the end of the my push to get it finished. But yeah, I feel pretty confident that I'm going to get it done. Even though, a couple of weeks of not getting quite as much as I wanted to does sometimes make me feel a little anxious, but we'll do it. We got only 2 things for you this week. The first is that Dragonsteel Prime's audiobook is now on YouTube. So Dragonsteel Prime is a book I wrote in 1998 or 9. Right after Elantris. It was the next book that I wrote. It never got published because it didn't quite work. Which is the story of all of these early books of mine. It's still pretty fun. You get to see a very early version of the Shattered Plains, which were on Yolan back then. You get to see a very early version of Shalon, who got moved to Stormlight later on. You get to see the first appearances of Hoid as like an actual character rather than a cameo happened in this book. But it also has some serious problems, which you'll also notice. So if that's something that appeals to you, if you liked Way of Kings Prime, you can check out Dragonsteel Prime. So our last thing is Dragonsteel Nexus 2024. So this is our convention. And I did, this is the new name if you missed it last week. I did mention to some people in person that the Nexus is the name of the perpendicularity at Silverlight. So that's part of why I gravitated toward this name. So it is relevant in world to have this. And we like the idea of Nexus bringing everyone together. I mean, it just is a cool looking word also. And so, you can continue to call it Dragonsteel. You can call it Dragonsteel Nexus. You can call it, whatever you feel like calling it. We're just going to call it Dragonsteel Nexus 2024. The badges are on sale now. There's the VIP or general admission badges at dragonsteel.com. We do anticipate these selling out. This is a Stormlight year. And there's going to be lots of cool, fun things for you to do. So if you haven't ever come, this is probably the year to come. You can also now pre-order your Wind and Truth bundle. So this is how we distribute our signed and numbered editions these days, is you buy that separate from your ticket, because that way you can buy a ticket if you decide you want to grab your book from your local bookstore, for example, instead. Totally fine. But this is how we do our numbered editions. You can also add onto that the convention swag bundle, which is always very cool and kind of is themed toward this year's convention and toward the book that's coming out. And don't forget the craft kits. People love these. We have a craft room with people showing you how to make the things, and the team always comes up with really cool little crafty things to be able to make. So you can pick those up. It is one of the most popular things at our convention, is to hang out in the craft room and make crafts with the craft kits. So supplies will be limited on site for some of these things, particularly the craft kits. There will be some for sale, but you may want to grab that as soon as possible. And there are other fun things that we may or may not be able to announce before we sell out of badges. So I will just warn you, like, we've got some very cool authors coming. I've heard that I'm not at liberty to announce yet, that are just going to come and hang out with us. And we've got some other just nice little events and things. We'll announce those when we can. But anyway, I'll be back next week. This will be an important month for you to kind of follow along with Stormlight and see how well I do at finishing those things. And here's a little teaser for some social media we're going to be doing later on. Tomorrow, I'm going to go put on armor so that someone can hit me with a sword. So that, because we periodically like to do things where we make sure that Brandon knows how to use a sword. And so we have a trainer coming out tomorrow, and we're going to videotape me getting hit with a sword. So look forward to that. There's a little teaser coming in the coming months. Brandon in armor being hit by a sword master with various weapons.